Thank you, William. Oh man, I gotta really. I'm gonna have to get a running checklist going. Uh, Luckily we just started, so I don't really. I haven't said a lot. We've been streaming for about 2 minutes. Thanks, William. I appreciate that. Um, it's Sunday session, right? We spoke yesterday. Don't really have a lot, other than what my plans are. I like to. I'm one of these people. I like to emote my plans out into the world, and then you can say, "Man, that guy, he's always talking shit. He's never doing anything, right?" But it depends on what you're talking about. Depends on what you're doing in your life, right? So if I'm always painting pictures and dreaming of pie in the sky shit, and you go, he's never doing anything, that's a little bit easy to take. It's not like I can bring like unity and peace and love and brotherhood out of my hat. Versus that guy over there who says he's going to be a singer, or an actor, or a dancer, and he doesn't go on any auditions, right? They're kind of different. And I realized that late in life, right? Uh, some dreams are pie in the sky dreams. World peace is one of those. But some dreams are possible, right? And if your dreams are possible, you should be going out there and getting them. I, on the other hand, you know, my reachable dream is music now. My behind the sky dreams still work though. Loyalty, unity, brotherhood. I know they're pie in the sky dreams. Um, and that all started because I like to voice things, right? The idea that you can speak things into existence, I kind of believe. I don't believe it's like you can talk away cancer, like go to the doctor for that shit. Uh, but I do believe that you can. Will I be giving out communion today? This is communion. Our conversation is communion. Um, Seeing this, see, it's the hope in me that's ridiculous. I've had my running schedule in this thing that I have not run like 8 years, right? And I was gonna kick it up again. We had this conversation, I want to say day before yesterday. Why I don't run in the street anymore because of Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah. But now the place is covered in snow. It looks like it's New York. It's covered in snow. And I spoke to my homie who lives in Brooklyn yesterday, and he was like, didn't snow there. Spoke to my parents where they live, Delaware, didn't snow there. I was like, Jesus Christmas. So global warming, baby, is it's sporadic and ridiculous. Or not, they don't call it warming anymore. They call it climate change, right? But yeah, the climate is changing. It's gonna become one of those survival of the fittest things again, right? Ugh. There are 7 billion people. We could stand to lose some. Um, who did I have this conversation with? About when things get bad, the groups that die first are always the youngest children, right? The oldest people, the infirmed, or the maimed, right? So, and then after that, you begin to get into like the gristle of like everybody with 10 fingers and 10 toes who don't have allergies, who can eat anything, who can climb, right? And then those people begin to fall away by injuries, slipping off cliffs, accidents, blah, 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 blah. Some people have just bad leadership. Well, let's cut across this area, and it turns out to be a desert and no water for thousands of miles, right? Then they'll go away. So you will end up kind of slowly just falling away and falling away. Some people will be lucky and will survive the whole thing, wherever they end up, right? So, why am I saying this? I would like to believe in society on this Sunday morning, but I think what's going to happen is they're going to let people rot and protect themselves because history says that that's what they always do. And now the liberals are beginning to not feel like the constraints put on them by the government. It's been 3 years. They're like, when is this going to end? Right? Uh, which is fair. Which is fair. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. When is it all gonna end? Don't know. In an environment where we're all sort of at each other's throats, uh, yeah, gotta do something else. Was really gonna go running. Maybe the cosmos is telling me not to start running again. I gotta tell you, the idea that you can't go outside and do yoga with like two or three people in the park, as something as cliche as that, right? Because that's breathing too heavy. Or yeah, like the New York City subway system may be rendered obsolete if this continues for 10 years, right? Or everybody will just begin to ignore these mandates about these what do we call them? I guess we'll call them mandates. Um, just because you're like, you know what I refer to? Remember when this whole thing started, everybody was wiping down doorknobs and wiping down shopping carts, and you don't see any wiping down light switches. You don't see any of that anymore. And I said that how long is that gonna last? Then and you don't. People buying gloves, you don't see that anymore. Everybody's wearing a mask, and not everybody's even wearing a mask. Yeah, this is the hat. I love a good bucket hat. This is a weird clothy one too, though. I'm surprised it's still in existence. It's really a thin. I love it because I wear it during the summer. Well, I just realized how blue. I do wear one shade of blue, don't I? I wonder what color blue this is. We could probably easily find it. Let's look up what shade of blue. Uh Now I'm just curious. Shades of blue. Be interesting in this life, my dudes. Uh, yeah, a lot of people just like to sit around and judge other people's doings. Those people generally don't have a lot going on and they suck. And they make you crazy about yourself and doubt yourself a lot. A good way to do this shit is to what color is this? This is not cobalt. This is Yale blue. It looks like. Is that it? Huh, I should probably put this up on screen, right? Um, Midnight blue. The blues are numbered 1970. Navy blue is 00080. Yale blue is 0F4D92. 99 shades of blue color with names. 99 shades of blue. Baby blue. Oh, light blue. Ooh, what is sky blue then? Uh, Azure blue. Cornflower blue. Wow. Yeah. See, when I was drawing regularly and I ventured into art, I'm self-taught. That's the first thing I actually did. Taught myself how to draw before I could write. But I could draw. Um, and then I wanted to make comic books with colors. And there's a color wheel and there's color theory. I didn't know any of that. I must have been like 10 or 11. Um, and then there was no internet. And I just could not figure out what colors worked well, and I would draw it and ruin it with color, and then draw it again, and then ruin it with another color. So then I just stopped using color, right? Uh, yeah, most of my art is in black and white. Maybe I should learn the color wheel. Anyway, I'm off on a jag. Navy blue. This is not navy blue, and it's not Yale blue. What color are blue jeans? Okay, well, yeah, let's go. That's not royal. They start okay, fine. Let's stop with the colors of blue. See the rabbit holes you go down? Um come on, yeah, I'm sure she likes green. Kamala likes green. Uh, she's getting beat up. She's been showing up all over the place in these press conferences, and they haven't been looking good. I saw that. I also saw that um what is his name? Say he doesn't really want to be a part of the rebuilt Packers team. Which makes sense. Why do I want to learn a new system when it's, you know, just let them wander off into the desert? But yeah, I watched yesterday's game. I didn't even. Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? What am I looking for? Here it is. So, yep, there you go. Why don't we put this over here? I'm having trouble with my whole thing. Um, I'm trying to figure it out. What did I come over here to look for? I came over here to look for the NFL highlights that I can't show you. NFL highlights. The original players, right? So who plays today? There's 3 weeks left, right? Maybe was I wrong on yesterday's count? So today's Sunday. So there's this Sunday, next Sunday, which is the first. Then there's the Sunday after that, which is the 8th. And then there's the Sunday after that, which is the 13th. So the 13th, the 8th, the 1st, next week, this week rather, is the last week of this month of 28. 28, right? So we have another 7 days now. That's like 28 days. Like, how am I missing? I'm missing, and there's one bye week. Kansas City, Buffalo, but that's one game. I gotta account for. I'm accounting for 4 weeks, and I'm acknowledging that one is going to be a bye week, right? Um, but there should be 4 games to play, 3 games to be played, and I can't account for the other 3 games, right? 2 guys won yesterday, so that's one game against each other. Kansas City plays today. So there should be another. There should be another team. Kansas City, Buffalo, and the Bengals and San Francisco. So those are 2 games. I'm all over the place, man. I used to be better at this. So okay, so we do have at least 3 other games. Then we have a bye week. Then I said, what did I say? 4 weeks? No, we have 2 other games, right? We have a bye week, and then we have the Super Bowl. All right, okay, all right. I'm sorry. So that means that we do have 4 teams still playing as of today. Don't even get me. Good lord. You problems. Brady Rams, right? Problems. I dropped out for a second, so this tells me that I'm having internet issues. Uh, but I'm here. Am I still streaming? I think I'm still streaming. I should probably yeah. It says I'm still live. I think I lost. Oh boy. So let's now we got to check everything. Right? Let's check everything. Are you still there, William? Or am I even still streaming? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm streaming anymore. Yeah, okay. I am still streaming. I'm right here. Sorry, guys. All right. So yeah. apparently, let's close this and let's go back over here and hit on this. Give this a look. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah. Apparently, I had a hiccup in my whole game. His first game. Brady is right. So he's the first game. That should be today. Right. I'm still lost a game. There should be two games this week. No, 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 no. Two games this week, one game next week, bye week, Super Bowl. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry about that. But that makes sense to me. Um, four games, four teams, two games, two teams, one game next week, bye week, Super Bowl. Right. All right. So we're back on schedule. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't crazy because. All right. I had a little hiccup with my stream. So it's Kansas City and the Chiefs, Kansas City and the Chiefs. It's the Bills and the Chiefs, and then it's Brady, uh the not the Bengals. The I'm about to say the Titans. Not the Titans. The Rams. And it's Brady and the Rams. Okay, great. Who's your money on, William? Let's hear it. Who do you think in both of these games, and then who do you think takes the whole thing? Let's hear it. Ooh, I have been drinking far too much coffee since I gave up drinking. Uh, you think the Rams? I think Brady's a favorite just to see him do it, but I yeah, I can see how the Rams might, because we've seen a Buccaneers Chiefs Super Bowl, right? Are we still pulling for the young ingenue of what is his name? Good Lord, man, I am a mess today. For the Chiefs, I forgot his name. Anyway, are we still pulling for him, even though he's like new to the league and they get all this? Well, they went to the Super Bowl twice, right? I want to say th- went. Oh boy, oh boy, what is going on with my memory? Chiefs Super Bowl appearances. I want to say they went three times and lost once. With Mahomes is who I'm thinking of. Notable. All right, let's see if this is a lot of talk, Joe Montana. All right, guys, here, see, you're killing me. Sometimes you just want to look up hot facts. No, I don't want to do that. Kansas City Chiefs Wikipedia. How about that? Okay, so personnel, team history. Oh, really? They got nicknamed the Redwood Forest Defense. Why? The Redwood Forest is in California. I can see why that didn't catch on. Legion of Zoom. Okay. Championships, league championship, AFL championship, pre 1970, Super Bowl champions twice, 69 and 2019. Really, why did I think that Mahomes had won it twice? 69. Conference champions, 2019, 2020. Division champions, huh? Really? All right. Well, there you have it. Um, why did I think they wanted to? I might have been thinking of the conference championship. Andy Reid. American Football Conference 2019. American Football League Championship 62, 66, and 69. Hank Stram. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I'm about to. I'm not gonna fall down a. Uh, well, look, since you told me that, I looked into this shooting, and this guy was so young. He was 22, right? He was a baby. Uh, I haven't heard anything bad about this yet. I think the city likes to sell papers, and they gin up drama and angst and animosity. I mean, I've seen them do this with Drinkins, Dinkins. God rest his soul, Drinkins. Um, and they already want some drama. But you notice the PBA has shut its face up after all it's said and done over the last 30 years about Eric Adams. Um, I mean, what is he going to say at a police shooting, right? He's the mayor and a former police officer, a former police captain. But as for the politics of it, outside of this incident, I think he's a standard mayor. I don't think he's any worse or any better, and it's only been 3 weeks. Does that make sense, William? Uh, so those are my first impressions. Uh, whew. I tried to stay up late and watch Will Forte on Saturday Night Live. I like Saturday Night Live. I do. I like it. I do. Um, what is this? Uh, yeah, I don't know. Notice fire commissioner going after 50 years. Not sure if he had a choice. Yeah, yeah. You have to retire at 60 in New York City. Um 65, 60. How old is he? But you can't stay there forever ever because you want to. And 53 years working for the city is a good run, right? Uh what is that? 1970, 1970? Yeah, get out of here. Go do something else. Um 53 years as a he wasn't the fire commissioner for 53 years. Uh huh. Fire commissioner FDNY to step down after 53 years with the fire department. This one says FDNY Commissioner Nigro to retire, and Nigro means black in Latin. Let's remember that. And it also has people giving it some like connotations to people. So when you say Negro or Negra, I think it's black in Spanish. People always get whiffy, but only here because these languages have not even here. It's not just here. Like it's just it is what it is. Know your history, people. Um, FDNY Commissioner Negro to retire after 40-year career. This says 40-year. One says 53. Someone is robbing him of 15 years or giving him credit for 15 years. Mayor-elect Adams may tap FDNY lawyer as first female fire policeman. Yeah, who are these people? And where were they when like all these people were trying to get you fired? Now they, oh God, Lord, I don't even get me started. So yeah, I have faith in Eric Adams so far. 53 years. That's one job, man. Oh wow, the idea of that job is crazy to me. The idea that you're going to run into a burning building. Uh, yeah, I would rather just chase the bad guys. Yeah, I would rather just chase the bad guys. Shoot it out, fight it out, whatever. But the idea of like, it's like the Navy, right? Like if I'm not, I keep saying this every time I talk about the military. So people, uh, not saying that I did anything, but if I were in the pick to go to the military, I would not pick the Navy just because the oceans, right? I would likely pick something where my feet are on dry land. I wouldn't pick the Air Force either. Planes flying, right? So I think some of this figures in, and maybe if you're from a coastal town and you sailed all your life, and your dad was a sailor and a Navy man, and right, then the water becomes part of your deal, and you go, yeah, my whole family go back since so and so since Atlantis, right, kind of thing, and I get that. But man, I think like choosing city work is is also the same. Sometimes you just kind of picking their call and you just taking and do it. But I thought about like the fire department. I was just kind of like, ugh, ugh, ugh. um, it's amazing. Like like jails. Like I couldn't be a jail guard, right? I don't want to be locked in here with these people, right? So I wouldn't do that. Uh, I'd be a mailman. I like to walk, right? I could be a mailman. I could be a truck driver, bus driver. I like to drive, right? I like that. Uh, I also don't like to be in an office, right? So that all these things sort of play into when you're a young person trying to figure out what you're going to do with your days. Um, what do you like to do? I have friends who are like, I like the great idea that I'm doing. I'm going to go be a park ranger in a national park. And I was like, I never thought of that. Right. And years later, I still think of like, wonder what happened to that dude. I know he did become a park ranger, but I wonder what happened to him. And I think, man, if I had known, if I had thought to, I mean, I knew it was a job, obviously, to be like a park ranger, I would have been a park ranger, telling you about flowers and shit in Yellowstone or something, a national park, and you have state parks too. So yeah, find what's good for you, and then try and like do more of that, and then hopefully like have someone pay you to do that. Um, but be prepared for change. Some people love skiing and they built a ski life, and now there is no snow. So now what? Right? Now it's back to hiking the traditional ways. Well, it's bear country actually, but well, we'll see what happens. Um, all right. So we have been streaming for a half an hour. Right. Right. That makes sense. All right. So we've been streaming for half an hour. Um I was really gonna try and set this room up and clean up and run around, but then I gotta tell you, man, sometimes living alone it's an ordeal to motivate yourself to do some shit. And it's just natural and normal, right? Sometimes you're motivated, oh, I gotta do this for the kids, I gotta get up, gotta go to gotta da da da. Gotta cook, gotta go shopping for school, so you're on a natural schedule, which is nice. But sometimes you just kind of go, I'll do it tomorrow because you can, right? And usually people feel this when people go away. So if their parents go away, they'll sleep in late and stay up, like or if they're watching the house, or if they go away, the parents go away to someplace, anyway. So Boston, in Boston, they have park rangers at State House on the constitutional strip. Yeah, that makes sense to me, right? Because once that land becomes federal, like honored park land, right? The park rangers look after it, not the cops or anything. And if you break a law on it, it's still federal land. It's a federal crime, right? And I think you're prosecuted, but they probably have their own prosecute. Well, the federal prosecutors are federal prosecutors. They don't all deal with giant cases. Some of them deal with minutia bullshit of law and bumping into law at that level, right? So if I got into a fender bender in a national park with a government car, right? I think the feds are going to look at that, especially if I'm drinking. Then it's like drinking on federal land and da 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 da. It's slightly well federal land, but it's like why you can't have a gun in a post office. So I live in this open carry state here. You can walk around with a gun, but it just once you walk into a federal, it's like an embassy, right? Embassy is sacred land kind of thing. You go into a post office with a gun, you break the law. You break federal law. It's best to leave that shit in your car and have your car stolen. Then and there was a woman who had a revolver in her purse, and she dropped it in the post office, and it went off and hit a woman in the head and killed her. And they brought her up on federal gun charges. And they were like, "It doesn't matter that you're not a criminal, you didn't mean to, right?" And then you have to have you throw yourself court. This is what on the mercy of the judge means, right? Mercy of the court. The court is a judge, quite frankly, but sympathies to the jury because fucked up shit happens. It's like that truck driver who killed five people, and they gave him 100 years, but then not the judge, the governor commuted his sentence to 10 years, so he's still gonna have to do 10 years. But people are like 100 years, right? I mean, it is what it is, man. So, but yeah, the state house would have, like in New York City, the smallest federal park is the Africans Memorial down in like Chambers Street, I want to say. It's as big as a bodega store, right? Um, they found bodies there when they were trying to build like this giant skyscraper, and they wanted to keep it quiet, and they were digging them up and throwing them in the river. I want to say it was Bloomberg, but I could be wrong. Uh, and causing outrage. So it's more the same. Uh, like this is what I mean by having a long memory of some of these people. So, but yeah, so if you went down there and did something stupid there, it would be a federal charge. Um, you would like to be arrested. The state troopers do states. Well, it's a that the slave memorial in New York is a federal thing. It's like Yellowstone, right? So the charges would be federal, and you would likely be arrested by the marshals or somebody like this. Um, State parks, you would be arrested by state troopers, or in Texas, I think their Texas Rangers are essentially the state troopers, the state policing agency. Uh, but yeah, so I mean that's just the way. Like you live in a three-tiered system as a citizen, as a citizen, right? It's like who you pay your taxes to. You pay to three governments. Um, And if you fuck up, the three governments can levy all sorts of shit at you. So while you can't be tried twice for the same thing in America, right? Being tried twice is known as double jeopardy. You can be tried three times by three different state agencies. So if I said, I hate you, William, I don't know if you're white or black or whatever, but let's say that you're a white guy, and I said, I hate you, William, you white guy, and then I punch you in the nose. And when the cops come, they're like, oh, it's a hate crime, right? And then the state locks me up, and then like the feds may go, oh, where we too are sick of this, and we believe that this it was so blatant, it happened on Sunday service of all days. We will charge him federally as a hate crime, right? Not federal, statewide with state as a hate crime, or the state can take over the local state, right? The local jurisdiction. So uh, if the Brooklyn DA didn't charge you, the state can come down and take the case from the Brooklyn DA, just like the feds can come and take the case from the state or the local, right? So here in Virginia, my little town, if the Virginia DA charges me, or decides not to charge me, the Virginia state, uh, the state's attorney's office can charge me. And then, so you can be charged 3 times really in America. There's a lot of this shit going on about like double jeopardy and all this stuff. And you see it a lot. So yeah, why am I even going on about this? We got it. We were talking about state troopers in the order of, hey, like I said, everybody's got a fiefdom. The order of fiefdoms going on here. Whew, it is cold outside. Now I'm beginning to want yet another cup of coffee. I wanted to start cooking this week. Good Lord, my this January has been a complete and total rot. Um, all right, so let's take a breath. Let's take a breath. Um, and just flip through some of the news today. They're talking about we're going to get more snow here in Virginia in the coming days. Call the Merry Maids true. The Merry Maids? What am I missing here? Um, on presidential debate, Senator Romney should have known better. I don't see this is the thing about opinion pieces. They're generally only they're co-signed opinion by the editing staff and the owner a lot of times. So they're always trying to get you to, oh yeah, I gotta clean this place up. This place is ridiculous. Ugh. It's one thing to be a bachelor and live alone. It's another thing to live in squalor and I can hear my mother's I'd read you better. I can just hear it in my I can just hear her. I gotta call her today, by the way. I can just hear her. So I have to clean this place up. Discipline, right? My mom used to call it self-discipline. Even if no one's around, you clean the dishes, you know, have a I haven't ironed anything in forever. And I was like, "Psst, why do I need to iron anything? I'm not running around chasing women. I'm just done." But I have an ironing board and an iron in there. And I was like, I don't wear enough collared shirts. I should own more sports coats, suit jacket. Why am I still dressed like I'm 21? Right. So these things flow through my head as I try and kind of like figure my deal out. And my deal does not mean my sexuality. Everyone always thinks that. Here's my thing. I just think gay people. First of all, gay people always think everybody's gay. That's 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 a truism. So if you're single, and some lady goes, "Oh, he's single. I like him." Her gay friend, a guy will go, "He gay. Oh, he, I know. I can spot him. He gay." I don't know. You know how you know you're gay? If you put penises in your mouth. Excuse my language. Uh, so I'm not trying to take a survey or anything. Yeah, here's my thing about my some road cleaners and laundry. It's all clean. It's just not ironed. It's in a giant pile. I love these things. I think they call them Henleys. I wear them all the time throughout the and well, generally throughout the year. I wear them at night during the summer. I double them up if it's a like whole summer day. That gets lazy. That this is the version of the American ladies moo. But when I was a young person, hip hop culture is perpetually buy bullshit. Buy clothes, buy clothes, buy clothes. They don't even get to wear out. You sell them. You got to get the next latest. Then I was like, when I gave that up, I was like, man. Then I got comfortable in this, but then that became a thing, and now here I am judging who was right, young me to not perpetually be flossy and spending on clothes, or older me, which don't do. I buy blue jeans when I need them. Right. I think I've got like 7 pair of blue jeans I rotate. And quite frankly, of those 7, I'm constantly wearing 3 of them. So what I need to do is go back there, iron all my clothes, fold them all up, put them on the shelf, right? Um, but this is how you do it. You don't do it well, you could he-man and do all your work. Start at 7, 6 in the morning. My mother did spring cleaning. We would get up at like 6 in the morning in like April, right? One of the first nice days of spring, she'd open all the windows, turn on all this old gospel music, and we washed the baseboards and we ironed stuff. We put our winter stuff away and dig out our spring clothes. Maybe it was May, but yeah, we were, and so every year I do the same thing because it was what my mom taught me. The neighbors have four merry maids coming every 2 weeks to clean. Yeah, look, I think if you just what first you want to get clean, then my mother called it picking up after yourself. So after you get the place cleaned, uh, you just pick up after yourself, right? So I had friends who had cereal bowls up in their room, and their mother would come and collect the dishes at the end of the week, and I was like, that is not happening at my mother's house, right? So picking up after yourself is after you ate in your room, you brought the stuff downstairs, right? The bowl and the because other people needed the bowls and the forks and stuff. Why, it's that. So but and then picking up after yourself, you'll also take the crumbs off the this and wipe down that. And it was being a dutiful person to your the environment you're in. It wasn't so much to for everybody else, but it was just to show that you weren't going to end up, you know, what do they call those people? One of those people who never throw anything away, a hoarder, right? End up a hoarder or something crazy. And yeah, my mother opened all the windows, all the windows. Sometimes it's like 6 to you got to do this stuff because your mom makes you, and you're doing it in like a hoodie, right? Everybody, but yeah, she would also cook while we did it. Place always smelled great. That that was my boyhood. So every spring, I clean up the whole place. So I know at least once a year it gets a there's two types of cleaning. I'm about to say a thorough clean. Let's say a cosmetic clean. You ever about to have company, so you just wipe shit down, scrub shit. You clean the shit you have to clean, dishes, the bathrooms, right? Mop up stuff, quick vacuum. But then you like cosmetic clean. You put like if you got dirty clothes, you scoop them all up, you throw them under the bed, you stick them in a closet. That's more cosmetic because you just need to have people look around and be like, "Oh, place is all right, just enough for dinner." But yeah, cosmetic cleaning. You should know both of them. You should know how to deep clean your whole place. When I had a dog, that place was perpetually spotless, spotless. Nothing was on the floor because Sydney would investigate it and wouldn't allow it. She'd chew it up or beat it up or destroy it. So you're always looking around to make sure something was not on the floor. Right. I had a friend who had a cat and she had the same thing just with high places, right? Because her cat would get up there and knock shit off. So she had this thing about not having stuff high up or on tabletop that can be wadded off or spat. So there was nothing ever lying on the tabletop, right? For too long. Like if she put her coffee mug down, that shit had like an hour before it was on the floor. So can we look for you in 20 years or A and M true? A and M's. Oh, A and E. Uh Yeah, what am I gonna be doing in 20 years? Let's hope that I'll be here in 20 years, right? 20 years, first of all, 20 years is guaranteed to no one, right? But we as young people, as we as young people, assume that we're gonna be here in 20 years because we're in our 20s and 30s. Um, so I'm assuming I'm gonna be here for but hoarding, no. I'm assuming in 20 years I'm gonna be a competent musician making corny songs and hopefully have a small following of people who go, "Oh man, his new single, Picks and Speakers, his new single was followed up nicely by post-it notes and nail clippers, right?" And other people would be like, "I never even heard of that guy." It's like my paintings. I hope in 20 years people go, "Those paintings were weird, but I sort of get it." And that's what you want. You want appreciation. We all want to be appreciated. Uh, That's what I'm going to be. I won't be hoarding. I'll be a musician. I will not be hoarding. Uh, in my young man days, I wanted to give up all this shit and go join a monastery. Then I just went and joined the police force. Then after the police force, I wanted to give it all up and join a monastery, but then I had changed my mind about it, and I really appreciated my family. And then years later, now that I moved closer to my family, I really, really, really appreciate my family. But I could totally live without a lot of this shit that I have. I would keep all the tech stuff and the exercise stuff and the gaming stuff and a phone. But I could live. I already said I could, like, I've got 7 pair of jeans and I generally live in 3 of them, right? I've actually got 10 pair of jeans. There's 3 pair of jeans that I don't wear at all. Um, but I could live in 3 pair of jeans. I could live in 10 shirts, and I could do neighborly work and live, a small life. I already like plants. I could be a gardener, right? I don't mind being humble. I could be a janitor, like I said. If you've got a great organization, feed the children, save the children, the Make a Wish Foundation, I would do that shit. I would, as long as you're not an asshole to me. I would do that shit for free because I totally believe in what you're doing. I think that more people need to be freed up to do more of it. Having said that, you know, nobody's really gonna work for free, and nobody who would work for free will be treated poorly. I will be making the jams in my lair wherever I would be. I hope I wouldn't be here in 20 years. Wherever I would be making them in my lair. Here's the question: if you had a lair, would it be in the basement or would it be in the attic? I'm gonna tell you my choice. When I grew up, we grew up in a house. My brother had the basement. Then he went off after graduation. Ouch! What is that? After graduation, he went off uh, to join the military, and then I had an older sister, but ladies don't live in basements. So I got it. It was the coolest thing ever. The giant ad. It was drafty, but I got over that by like getting extra confidence. So I lived in the basement for years, up from for about 6 years, and then I up and moved out. Uh, but in the summers when it was super hot, the basement was always cool. But the problem was there was never any air. You could never open the window to get a cross breeze in there on some of those days when it was stifling. Um, I would have my art studio, painting studio, whatever studio, just in a corner of a room in the attic. As long as I can look out the window and see shit. That you don't know how important that is until you can't see it. Um, right? I heard that you can't see things when they throw you in jail. Like you'd be lucky to get a view. You may be able to see this much sky out of a window, right? But you don't see the birds. You can't like open get a fresh air. Also heard they don't feed you fruit, right? So you may go if you do 10 years. You're like people come out wanting to have an actual orange or an apple or something or grapes. And I thought about that and I was like, that makes sense. Why would I give you fresh fucking fruit in jail, right? Like a pear. Why would I do that? Um, and then I thought how simple that would be, right? Give somebody a reward of a pear who haven't had a pear in 20 years. Man, society is weird. Here we are. I mean, jams and jellies in monasteries. Yeah, we would make candles, we would make jams, we would make jellies, we would make jams, funky ass blues riff jams. And we would make jellies, those shoes that girls like to wear that look like Crocs, as well as jams from grapes and stuff. But grapes may go extinct. You did hear this, right? And jellies from there is this place that is has a bakery. Their bagels are so fresh; they only last like 4 days, and then they're just gone. So I appreciate them because it's hard to get a good bagel. And then I discovered this place. Now I discovered a second one, by the way. But yeah, one of my favorite things is an everything bagel. I'm gonna give you my carbohydrate secrets when I was a runner, and I just needed a snack, and I didn't want to eat a lot. Cream everything bagel, cut it in half. A layer of cream cheese. I didn't put a lot because I don't like tons of cream cheese and just squish out the side when you bite it. But like just about the width of my finger on both sides, and then 4 rings. slightly offset of salami. Or if you want, go heavy with the salami. But New York gives you so much salami, I would take half off, buy a plain bagel, and make another one at home with other cream cheese because it's just so much meat sometimes. Um, but yeah, that carbohydrate, yeah, the taste of it is ridiculous. It's giant critters of salt and yeah, everything bagel. Yeah, it's cream cheese salami. After a run, have one of those with coffee. Wow. It's like when I used to drink as a young man, and I used to live with these guys who were in a rock band. I would help them with their rock shows, and then we all go get drunk after the session. Uh, Saturday night, we wake up, watch the football game Sunday. One dude would drink a liter of Pepsi, said it helped his headaches, right? And I was like, oh, I would normally go get a coffee. I would get an everything bagel, um, maybe two, right? And and I would take two Advil. And within an hour, I was feeling better. All the while drinking water. You could not sleep for too long because you had a dog, and the dog would. Well, this was before you know I had a dog with those guys. But after that, that was my ritual. But in the morning, you just couldn't sleep too long. Um, yeah, those were the days of being a wild person back in the day. Good lord, that's by the time I met Pietro. God rest his soul. Um, yeah. So what is the point of this talk? This we were supposed to look for some of the yeah, we're gonna move this over to Twitch so I can throw up a game because man, I'm sometimes I got to tell you, I just gets to rambling about the old days, like your great grandpa on the porch. Hey, you remember about jelly, Sonny? Well, jellies and jams, that's what they used to call them. You're like, yeah, grandpa. Head of German Navy resigns after saying Russia would never return Crimea. He had to resign because Germany gets a lot of their oil from Russia. I mean, they're compromised. All you better watch the next World War because people prospering are compromised. Michigan dog who chewed off leg to escape neglect, gifted to road trip, gifted with road trip to new shelter home. He chewed his leg off. There's a federal crime about abusing dogs where you get a minimum 5 years in jail, and I'm for it. Some people are ridiculous. If you move out of your house and just leave the dog chained up there, it's a special kind of cruelty. Um, and people go, well, like you should be able to do anything to a dog because they're not human. You know how fast people would just take out their dark nature on dogs? It's like if you say kids didn't have any rights until they were 18. Can you imagine how dark this society would be? All the shit people who would have to go through to make it to 18 if they survived it. And then how broken and evil and angry as adults they would be. Can you imagine? COVID. The 49ers stunned the Packers. What's next for Aaron Rodgers? It's a good question. Tom Brady to take time after season before committing to returning to Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. Is his contract up? Is he trying to get one last giant payday of I don't know if I now he's talking about I don't know if I'll return after fighting not to retire? Now all of a sudden he's like, I don't know if I need time to reconsider the season. How many times can he pull that trick? If you let him go and he goes to a third team and win yet another Super Bowl, what are you going to say to yourself? Because trust me, the Patriots are sitting here going, we had the, we cultivated the greatest quarterback in football history, and then we were arrogant and said that he was too old to play the position, and then he left and won a Super Bowl and kicked us out of the playoffs. New York Post. NFL TV networks ignore worst offenders while promoting MLK's message. This ought to be good. NFL TV networks ignore offenders while promoting MLK's message by Paul Mushnick. You don't meet nice girls on Skid Row, Mr. Mushnick. You know what that is? That is a line by Audrey spoken to Mr. Mushnick, the owner of the plant shop in Little Shop of Horrors, when she was talking about he was telling her to leave her boyfriend who was a gangster. Why do you date a guy like that? She had a black eye. Why don't you meet a nice guy someplace else? You don't meet nice boys or nice guys on Skid Row, Mr. Mushnick. Mushnick. I've tried to understand it for years. I've tried to be 2 plus 2 can't equal anything other than 4. Thus, I can't understand why racial inequality in either direction can create racial equality. Can't be done. Last Saturday night on CBS, when did he write this? January 22nd, 2022. This was yesterday, 2:43. So this article is not yet 24 hours old. Oh, you know Phil Mushnick? You don't meet nice guys. Like, yeah, I remember that name forever just from that quote. I was like, I thought it was a funny name, a comedy name, and then it turns out that people are named Mushnick. I also think mush was slang growing up for us, meaning you to mush somebody will put your hand in their face and shove them. Man, get out of my way, yeah, and you yoke them across the room with your right. You give them a mush. So Mushnick sounds like the son of that, so it was always funny to me. And then it turns out that it's an actual name. I wonder what my name my last name is weird, but yeah, all right. Anyway, but it means something. So like if your last name Baker means baker, right? I mean, Weaver means you likely from someone in your family was a weaver, right? Miller, somebody was a Miller. I mean, these names are not difficult. They get difficult when you go into places that where people don't speak the same languages, and then before you know it, you have names that like French derivatives and like Giselle, which means hostage. Just what? Giselle Maxwell. Giselle means hostage. The weirdest name. Why would you name your daughter that? Anyway, not personally, right? You don't know birthday. Thomas Crapper. Yeah, the inventor of the crapper. But that's naming something after yourself, right? If your last name was Booger and you invented the car, we would probably call it a booger. Get in the booger and go, right? And it will have a totally different connotation than booger that you teach your babies, right? Uh So yeah, last Saturday night on CBS, Patriots Bill pregame show, host James Brown narrated a solemn salute to Martin Luther King Jr. 2 days prior to MLK Day. CBS learned on the then leaned on the eloquence of past offensive back Devin McCarthy, a Rutgers man, to emphasize the legacy of Dr. King, one that must not be forgotten. Amen. But as I was watching, a large chasm created by the mindless mind at the wheel of the NFL cannot be bridged. Dr. King and his civil rights marchers, black and white, courageously filed past hate-filled crowds of whites who called them N-worders or N-word lovers. Dr. King lived and died to eliminate that most disgusting of racial slurs. Oh, really? Is that why Dr. King lived and died? I would instantly take offense to that and say that that's not true. But okay, let's hear where Mr. Mushnick is going with this. So why CBS, James Brown, and Devin McCourty has the NFL help return that hideous slur to the mainstream through the invited acts of black rappers. So this is his moment to stand up about black culture, Mr. Mushnick. Um, I don't even know what to tell you. Right? It seems like I get it. I got an example for you. Um, a lady was walking down the street and she was mugged. And I was shocked to see the muggers took her purse and punched. We need to protect our ladies. This is why I think that women should not be allowed to leave the house without a man. Bam. See what I did there? Right? So it starts off with all this. Oh, I am pious, and what I'm saying is come from this place of concern, and then you spin it around to your own stupid whims of whatever. And this is what this is. So his going on is about the rap community and what rap culture is, right? No one tells poker people not to dress alike and sing barbershop tunes, right? But everyone wants to tell the rappers to pull up their pants and not use the N word and to rap about things that they feel more comfortable about. And this is what this article is. We can stop reading this, but yeah, we can skim it real fast. But I don't want to judge it too harshly. You want to give it another sentence or three? Um, why has the NFL continued to engage I'm sorry, those who say shamelessly, those who so shamelessly, excuse me, rap the N word and promote and sustain every negative black stereotype? From the use and dump and mistreatment of women to drugs and booze to guns to conspicuous possessions of wildly expensive and opulent cars and jewelry as testimonies to black American value. And why does the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodall, who appointed vulgar N-word spewing top shelf rapper Jay-Z as the NFL's Minister of Social Rectitude? Yeah. You see what he got? You see what we have going on here? Um, his concern is not so much about Dr. King, but it's him using Dr. King to go, why don't you rein in your blacks? Right? Yeah. Bullshit article. Look, trust me, you don't need to always finish the whole article. Sometimes you can just be like, whatever, man. Which used to be a saying, but no one says it anymore. Whatever, man. That's when you've had enough of the conversation. You just go, whatever, man. There used to be a rap song about it. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. Ah, you can now get paid $45,000 a year to watch reality television shows about dating. Why would you do that? And no, you can't. How many people do they need to do that? How long will that job last? 2 years, if that, if you're lucky. 80 grand to watch TV. How many people get that job? 6 people, maybe. Something tells me you'll get it as a PR stunt, and then it'll be over in a year and a half. Because in the contract that you sign, it'll say we was reserve the right to cancel this at any time and owe no monies. Because that is how film and television works, boys and girls. Um, I did enjoy my time. I learned a lot. Look, I'm honestly trying to skim for freaking news, but there isn't much. Everything is about people dating and who they dated. Arnold Schwarzenegger involved in four-vehicle crash in Brentwood. Was he driving? Was he driving a Hummer? Yeah, you gotta watch these. Some of these people are just ridiculous. They don't pay attention. Here's a story: speeding motorcyclist on reportedly stolen bike is killed in a violent crash on TV. The Los Angeles Times. Body found in search for missing VA woman days after man is charged in her disappearance. Here's the thing. As a young man, I read a lot of stories about how to write a story, what engages people, right? And when you're trying to be a writer, screenwriter, story writer, you know, essayist. Well, I don't know what I was trying to be. I think I was trying to be like a graphic novelist. They tell you about the human condition and what people like and what people are drawn to, right? Some people are drawn to people who are bad for them. Um, just like some people can spot what's bad for them immediately, there's also the inverse of that. Uh, you love who you love, right? It gets fucking ridiculous sometimes, though. Especially at my age, where you've seen it so many times over the course of your life, you just kind of go, "Why would you date that guy?" Speeding motorcycles reported. I mean, and it happened on live TV because there was a camera overhead when he hit this car and exploded. Like we had a tragedy, and same thing. Somebody being an idiot with a car. So you got to be careful. You got to watch your surround. This is why I would love a motorcycle. If I ever had a plot of land, I would get a motorcycle. I would also have a golf cart. That'd be cool. But I would get a motorcycle. But having a motorcycle, I would love a Ducati. But having a motorcycle on the public roads, the way people are always driving around on their phone, is just asking for disaster. It really is. People are just sort of sleepwalking through their existence. Like I say, when I'm driving, I have to look out for what I'm doing, but I also have to look out for the moves other people are making. Just in case I'm trying to get into a lane and then someone tries, that way you go back in the lane that you came from versus just slamming into them, right? Uh, so you look around, it's action and reaction driving. Not everybody wants to drive electric cars that park themselves, and that's not really driving. So we'll see. We'll see. It is a little fearsome, a little worrisome. My stomach is growling. I'm hungry. I would go get bagels, but I'm telling you, man, there are 3 feet of snow out there, and some of these side roads are not plowed. And I think it's funny. It's not like I'm used to driving on slick roads, and I do have an all-terrain vehicle for a four-wheel drive vehicle, which should be able to deal with the slimming and the sliding and the slushing about. But I'm not even leaving the house. I'm not even gonna friggin' attempt it. Uh, so I guess it's cleanup duties. Yeah, they use roll salt and they also spray this liquid on the street. And I always think, what is that? And is it biodegradable? And are we gonna hear about four-headed babies in like 15 years? Um, I don't know why they don't use a lot more roll salt because the ocean is right there, right? What you could do is dry out ocean water, collect the salt, sprinkle it on the roads. But I mean, New York. The problem with New York and its salt, or any other major northeastern cities, uh, Washington and above, is dumping salt everywhere corrodes everything. And year after year after year, you eventually begin to, kill off some plant and vegetation just because the road water, right? It begins to solidify in places. They tried using salt, not salt, sand. Um, but then sand, dries away, blows away, just becomes gristle in the wind. Uh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Can't use chains because chains destroy the not the turf, the asphalt. It's an interesting society we have here. Maybe we need flying cars that don't run on gasoline, so we could put OPEC out of business, and then we can get back to what really matters, which is I don't even know what really matters. They say when deer get hit, they're in the road licking salt. Do they really? That doesn't surprise me, because deers will wipe you clean out, and I mean, moose are twice as big as deer. A big deer will slide up your hood and trap you in your seat for 500 pounds of deer, right? A moose will do the same thing, but it's 1,500 pounds of moose and will crush you. And so, because it's like on sticks, and there you go, 50 miles an hour. So, yeah, it's so incredibly ridiculously dangerous. It's 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 ridiculous. And they're just sitting there. And mind you, those of us who know like those some of these backwater roads, I once drove to Maine. They're not well lit, right? Like we were driving up there, it was cold and like it was a little bit of snow, it wasn't snowing heavy. But there were no like highway lights every 100 feet or whatever the spacing is. It was like you had to rely on your own headlights, and then there was a berm in between north and going north and south I-95. But there was no, and there were reflective guardrails, but there wasn't any electric lights every place unless there were turnarounds and shit or pull offs, right? There was none of that. So as you're driving along, you might be speeding because there's so few cars going up there. You turn a corner or something, or just not see this big brown thing sitting in the middle of the road, right? Because there's no lights, there's no, and then it looks up at you and you catch a reflection of its eyes. Maybe you're off the road and that's bad for you. Skids. I mean, yeah, it's all not. It's not bueno. It really is not bueno. Um, so know your roads, right? So down here where I travel, we get raccoons, rabbits, the occasional flight bird, seagull, raven. No pigeons down here because seagulls and ravens would dust them off. Um, down here as roadkill, right? Trying to cross the road and doing whatever. We don't get big animals. We don't get like deer and fucking elk. And those things generally get hit by. There's a couple of videos on YouTube of like things getting destroyed by trucks, like a deer trying to run across out of nowhere and just getting completely demolished by a semi truck doing like 70 on a highway. There's also a video of a car having an accident and being driven like out of its lane down a berm, right? And down a berm, here's a truck. Uh, across it sort of launched into like this truck's path in an oncoming way, and the truck hitting it and completely obliterating this car. The car had to be like I want to say it was either a Volkswagen Beetle or one of those Mini Coopers, and it was just happened to be one of those things that you catch on tape. It was an amazing kind of video to catch on tape. Uh, just brutal. Um, so yeah, this is why I don't even know how I got on that. This is why I need like all-terrain vehicles, actually wait around me, not driving in the snow or rain in a town where they don't really I don't even think they plowed my I don't even know, man. I don't know. All right, I'm talking crazy. I'm talking crazy. How much time we got? We got 27 seconds. We have 20 seconds before we officially end the show. All right, so I want to thank all of you for hanging with us Sunday service. Uh, we tried to cover some politics. There wasn't really a lot to cover, quite frankly. It's good to be back. I think maybe 10 o'clock on Sundays is where we're at. I hope you had coffee and a Danish and a bagel. And we'll see you next Sunday for the Sunday service. Uh, so you can have Danish, and I'll have something nice too because it won't be snowing. Well, they're talking about more snow, but we'll see what happens. Good Lord, almost take the finger off. All right. Are we going to end the show? We're going to end it in maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It's 11:30. So yeah, uh I really need to tackle this apartment. There really isn't news to talk about. Other if you want to talk about the Ukraine, I mean, are we going to go to war in the Ukraine for the Ukrainians? No, no. How'd that Afghanistan thing work out? How are you going to go to war against the Russians while you keep doing all this talk? We're always talking to these people while we're warring with these people, while they're spying on us, while they're trying to hack our systems. What is going on here? Are we at war or aren't we? Ridiculousness. All right. I like to lean, and the more you lean one way, the more you whack out your new gaming chair. A woman pregnant with twins in critical condition after partner allegedly lights her on fire because people are fucking stupid. First of all, who raised him, right? And why didn't you, who were raised by them, fix yourself as you were being raised? And then why would you do this to another person? And the lady, why would you pick him? I don't understand the coupling of the world anymore. Police couple arrested after trying to flee in Waterford, Connecticut. What were they trying to flee for? How to spot the signs of long COVID. The German government distances itself from the Navy chief's comments on Putin. And it makes sense. You can't have your Navy elites talking out of school. I mean, you've got to deal with these people on a diplomatic level, right? You can't have some random judge or random general or random, well, senators and judges can sort of talk out of school, but generals are sort of different. So you can't have them say whatever the fuck they want. True, you can't tell my race by my photo. Uh, well, William Conway, I don't see race. Ah, ah. Uh, yeah, people have all sorts. Didn't you once have a icon that was all black? Just saying. So yeah, I keep saying we're gonna move to Twitch. Remember, we're going to Twitch, guys. We're gonna be here and there and everywhere. But by this, look, these are the first shakeups of the wow, there really is no fucking new news. Sarah Palin set to battle New York Times at a defamation trial. Yeah, okay, she's gonna win that. There really is no new news. Silvio Berlusconi's in the hospital. I'm assuming he's dying. He's got to be 1,000 years old. Nobody lasts forever. Uh, yeah, and the rest of it is, what do you think about these celebrities? Arnold Schwarzenegger is fine, quote unquote, fine after being involved in a multi-car accident which left one person injured. Okay, if it's multi cars and one person's injured, that could be anything. Unlike Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner, who had a car accident and killed a lady, that's different. Meatloaf's daughter Amanda Ade remembers late performer. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hiddleston buddy up. Yeah, movie shit. Dog rocks a baby to sleep. Yeah, why is all this nonsense in my feed? This is not news. Speeding motorcycle again. Guys, seriously, if you don't like her, just let her fucking go. 1 billion people in the world. And ladies, seriously, choose better. That's all I can tell you. Just choose better. 1 billion guys in the world, right? Everybody just skips from person to person like people are disposable and these emotions don't count. Just, find the niche that is you and then get nichey with that person and then it'll be the two of you and then you can do some great and grand and glorious thing together. New York City mayor takes pay cut as cryptocurrency market plunges. Oh boy, cryptocurrency. Everybody's ridiculous. Um, Pay me in cryptocurrency. Meanwhile, billionaire Bloomberg was like, I'll forgo a salary. Right. So this is all the nonsense. Just put the cash in my check and let's not talk about anything else other than running the city versus these weird money games that the elite can play and the poor like you and I cannot. So for us, we get to worry about war in the Ukraine? What? America loves war in Europe. It loves it. Cannot get enough of fucking war in Europe for 100 years now. War in Europe. All right. That's it for me. No war in Europe. How about that? Uh I'll be back. What's today? Today is Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow. Hey, let it be. Happy Sunday. Uh, I'll be back. We're just wrapping up the show. What time is it? 11:38. Um, yeah, we're trying to get our what's the word I'm looking for? I was about to say sea legs, but that was from the conversation we had earlier about the Navy. We're trying to get situated in the new year. The new year has sort of been brutal. Hasn't been very awesome. Um, Having said that, we still have to do the thing, right? So the thing needs doing, and we are the doers of the thing. Who else to do it but us? Or in this case, moi. And that doing of things, I'm really gonna have another cup of coffee, aren't I? I'm running out of milk. It's not like I'm snowed in. I had a dog. I used to walk that dog in like 5 foot snowdrifts. And now literally it's about this much snow. And I haven't left the house. And everything, I could walk to the 7-Eleven, get milk, but I'm sitting over here being a delicate flower about it. And I find this funny to myself, considering I grew up in blizzard country. Um, Yeah, all right. I think I'm gonna have to go get milk, but I think I can't. First of all, I can't believe I'm having yet another cup of coffee. I should probably work on having a meal before I have yet another cup of coffee. But I will probably have yet another cup of coffee. Maybe I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The classics. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and get this room together. So next time you see it, it looks closer to presentable for what we're trying to do here. Um, and I'll tell you my progress going forward about the piano music that I'm also supposed to be trying to do. And we'll come up with a better way to hit the daily jargon. Remember, if you've been here for 10 minutes, your soul is good for 2 weeks. Woo, it's been a while since we said that, right? It's been a must. It must have been about, I want to say, no Sunday service for at least a month, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 6 shows, could have been more than that. Um, Yeah, I always have trouble ending shows, so I guess I'll slowly rock back and forth and slowly end it. Whew. All right. I want to thank all of you. Look forward to my YouTube channel. There will be some filmed content that we'll be dropping up there this week. And look to my Twitch channel because there will be gaming content that will be there in the next couple of hours, maybe days, hours, some one of those two, because I got to get back on the grind. But it starts with cleaning this place like my mom is coming to visit. I remember when I was a young man, um, and my mom said she was the name when she was going to come to visit. The amount of cleaning I had to do in a short amount of time was extraordinary. Uh, yeah, moms are awesome. If you're lucky to still have yours, do I have a spot on my shirt? I do. I can't see, but I can see it on the. It's wet. It's a wet spot. Um, if you're so lucky to have your mom in your life, call your mom, call your dad, see how they're doing. Give them some guff because you're an adult now. You can do that. Um, and make sure you forge good and relationships with nieces and nephews. Give them a call too, right? It doesn't take a lot to impress your 8, 9 year old niece. Might be a comic book, might be some Pokemon cards, right? They'll think highly of you forever, like you bought them a flying cat mountain, you're right, a castle or something, and let them know that the family's broad and wide and people love them, who they may not be thinking about and who may not be thinking about them, right? That's the kind of magic of it. Family's important. Uh, Try to stand for something and make sure that something has fun and is jovial and you can share it with people because you're supposed to share as a human being. Try not to be miserable in this life. Try to take a pass on people who want you to be miserable, who seek to be friends with you so they can make you miserable, get you addicted to miserable dumb. Um, and know that you're not going to be here forever. So try and enjoy these days. Today is Sunday session. If you've been here for 10 minutes, it's good for 2 weeks. Your soul is paid for 2 weeks. Absolute guarantee. Remember that. No one can prove that it's not guaranteed. Huh? Um, a spiritual life is important. I don't know if you're, you know, Christian or Muslim or Jewish or any other things that I may not have, innumerable things that I may not have mentioned in saying spirituality. But that, I mean, that is kind of important to you. But also a gaming life, wit and cleverdom and just having a beer with people that you like. That too is just as valuable, just as important, just as important. It's another week. It's your third week into the new year. It is not too late to take up something fun and cool and interesting, or give up something that holds you back, right? But if you want to give up smoking and you don't, or you want to lose weight and you don't beat yourself up over it. Just maybe it's next year and do something else. But it doesn't mean you should stop doing shit, right? Maybe do something lighter, less, or something other. But don't mean you should give up. Um, it's about betterment, right? It should be about betterment. It shouldn't just be about being comfortable, being fucked over, or being taken for granted, or any of that. Uh, yeah, it should be about being better. I don't know what better is for you. For me, I would like to be music means that I would view myself as better. So that's just what I say about that one topic. Yours might be chess games, or cooking, or a different job, or starting a business, or whatever the case may be. You got to activate that in you, and this is what Sunday sessions are here to tell you to do as we rumble through the week. Uh, but that's it. I've got a stain on my shirt, and I've got a messy apartment that I've got to get to, and it's about discipline, really, quite frankly. Uh, and like I said earlier in the show, I like to mention things because I do believe that you can speak about these things, and then other people go, "Hey, he said he was going to do that. Oh, look, he did that thing." Right? That's what you want. Plate spinner. Yeah, got to keep. Well, see, you can only spin as many plates as you want. You don't have to do like the old Carson shows where there's 13 plates. Maybe you just need to spin three, right? Start with one, right? I'm over here. I'm a mediocre cook and a mediocre artist and a mediocre painter, but I do all of them because they eat away some stress of the world that I appreciate that. However, you might be able to spin one giant, fantastic, beautiful plate. You may have a knack for plate spinning at its finest. But whatever you do, however you do it, don't start with 30 of them. Just start with the one. Maybe not even a big one, maybe a small one, right? Maybe not even a tall stick, but maybe a small stick. Either way you get started, you get started. However you decide to start it, you decide to start whatever that thing is. And that's it. Um it is, yeah, we don't do sunsets anymore. It's a quarter to noon. It's half past plus 15 minutes to 11. Oh, remember that no one says half past anymore. Um yeah. When sunset? Sunset will be at 5:19 p.m. today. Oh, 5:19. That is super early. All right. I guess that's it for us. I somehow managed. Well, you know what will likely happen? I'm trying to work this out in my head. I would like to clean up the other room that you guys won't see, because that room has a TV where the game is going to be on. Unless I'm in here. If I'm in here, I'll be watching music videos on YouTube and cleaning up. So this could go either way, but I'm not going to stress it. You should not stress it, but you should get the fucking thing done, right? Don't be full of shit. I'm trying not to be full of shit. I need to get the thing done. You need to get the thing done. And we are cohorts in doing the thing. So let's stop going on about it and get the thing done. Oh, I remember telling you about my mom. She would do one giant cleaning, and then like if you cleaned up like 10 minutes every day, you would keep your place clean. Was kind of like the adage. And you don't have to do 10 minutes every day, but it's the same thing. People like mopping or vacuuming once a week, right? You just stay on top of it. A lot of people don't do that. I mean, these are the things that your parents tell you that you give up on to be cool and chase ladies and do all that stuff, but you still know them. They're still possible. You can still do those things, and that's what you just have to re-engage. And that's what I intend to re-engage. So yeah, we're gonna put on a hoodie, open up all these windows, clean some portion of this place while we watch the game. and we're not going to stress that it has to all be clean immediately. But as much gets cleaned as gets clean, and we'll do it every couple of days until it's all done. Hopefully, it won't take the whole year, right? But um, and the way I work is I'll hit a wall and I'll be like, "Oh, let me just do all this now," and then I'll triple my energy in it, and before you know it, it'll all be clean. And then when that happens, we can do roaming video, and that'd be fun too, right? But the whole point is to inspire you, to inspire me to go, "Hey, I'm gonna do it. You should do it too." And if you're doing something cool, please let me know because maybe I should be doing that. All right, that is it for us. I have to go do some cleaning. I want to say and go running. I was gonna say that. That's that. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I'm not gonna cut off the alarm that's been on there forever about running because we're gonna get back into running. Um. It's Sunday, right? Every week is a new start. Let's restart the new start at the top of the new year and hope that come June I'll be fairly decent on the organ thingy and better at guitar and maybe more cooking videos, right? So at least you're looking forward to doing something that doesn't cost you anything to do. It doesn't cost you money, right? Just make sure that you need to be disciplined about your life and that you need to do it. And that's where we are. That's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do as we move forward. Uh, I've got the shades open, the sunlight's in my eyes, as well as this light on, and it's nice to have vitamin D hit you in the face, let you remember that you are part of this apparatus. You are not alone in the world, and you make allies. You know where you make them, and you don't need the drama. So get rid of dramatic people. Uh, or wish them well and hope that they fix us up because we don't want to abandon people, right? We don't want to be like we're sitting on a tough going, you are unworthy of me. But people who cause you heartache and drama, uh, be around them less, right? And work for something. And you'd be surprised at what you can pull off in a few years. Remember, if you are a high school dropout, you can be a college graduate in 5 years. Take the GED, then go to college. It takes 4 years to get a degree. You can be totally different in 5 years, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next one. And the next one is definitely going to be tomorrow. 7 might be 6:30. It won't be 7:30 anymore. 7:30 is too late. It'll likely be 6, but it might be 4 if we do the game streaming. Who knows, man? Maybe I'll start sending out a bulletin on my YouTube, not my YouTube, my Twitter, but I don't really use Twitter. Uh and I generally use my gaming Twitter when I do, right? Um I don't know. Maybe I should do a whole show of what Twitter is for versus what Facebook is for versus what Instagram is for versus what TikTok is for versus what is the other one that people are using? What app is for versus what uh Grinder is for versus what uh Apple Pay is for, right? So there's all these apps that I should probably know something about that I have no fucking idea what to do. And I signed up because everyone had one, like my Twitch account, my Twitch account because I wanted the game, but my Twitter account because I was like, Twitter? Yeah, I've got stuff to say, but I don't tweet like Trump's Twitter game is right, but I don't have a lot of tweeters to tweet to and so I get it if this show was big and there was 100,000 people watching me now, I get having a Twitter account. Because when I'm not on, I can go, hey, did you see that game? And blah, 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 blah. But now no one cares about that. So why do I have a Twitter account? I do have a Twitter account for my gaming channel because I thought you're supposed to. Uh, and I use that to Twitter politics. Yeah, and I love science fiction. So we're going to do a lot more of that. And I'm tired of talking about politics. Yeah, Ted's tweets T- look, Ted's tweet game is good, right? But I don't know why. Why do I tweet? Why do I tweet and not Facebook it or Instagram it? Is one of these good for the other and not? You know what I mean? Should I just? And if I'm hitting them all at the same time, blast them everywhere. Are they all interchangeable? I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Maybe I should ask Ted. He'll help me out with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Remember, the mornings are for paying the bills, get them paid. The evenings are for luxuriating and chilling. And you can't luxuriate and chill because you'll be stressed if you didn't pay the bills in the morning. So that's the way that thing should work. Get up in the morning, do all the hard work in the morning. Exercise, workout, cook, clean, laundry. This is your weekend chores, right? Da 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 da. Then at the end of the night, you can sit with your loved one and watch Sunday night game night or Sunday night Netflix night. Watch Witcher or something, stream night, Amazon night, whatever. And no drama. It's like having your homework done on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, so you don't have to worry about it Saturday, Sunday, right? That's the little bits of discipline that we're trying to reinstill in us. All right, that's it for me. I need coffee. I hate to say it, but I'm also need Mountain Dew, and I'm out, and it's cold out. I could have a DoorDash. The height of laziness. We won't have it. We'll just go without, and that's what discipline is. We're gonna go without. All right. Thanks for coming through, William. Thanks for coming through. Let it be. Uh, yeah, we're picking up our discipline again. The malaise of the ending of the year and the new freshness of the new year is over. Now we are back to fucking work. Let's get it. I want to thank all of you for coming through. I will be back tomorrow. Let's call it between 6:30 and 7. I have to change that Twitch upgrade too. And this week, sometime this week, we will be streaming a game. What game? I was thinking Spelunky. I was also thinking Armor. I don't know what game. I've been playing Bannerlord. Maybe we'll stream that. We'll figure something out. But yeah, it should be fun and interesting, and we'll see where it takes us. I want to thank all of you again. I have trouble saying goodbye. I I can't quit you. I can't quit you. I will see you in the next one. Next one's tomorrow. Uh, keep an eye out for